Has the Qur'an been perfectly preserved? Today there are a number of different readings of the Qur'an. These different readings are referred to as the Ahruf in Arabic. Most Muslim commentators would say the Ahruf represent different ways the Qur'an was originally revealed to Muhammad. However, the differences between the Ahruf are much bigger than this suggests. Another possibility is that they represent different versions of the Qur'an. The version of the Qur'an that is most common among Muslims today is the Hafs version, but the Warraq version is still heavily used in North Africa. There are a number of other versions used around the world, as well as a number of extinct versions. Between the Hafs and the Warraq versions, the two most common, there are 1,354 differences. While some of these are trivial, others are not. If you look over all the versions, there are around 4,000 differences, affecting 2/3 of the Quranic text. This means that there is some degree of variation in the majority of ayahs, and some of these differences change the meaning. So, let's go and have a look at them. We will start with a small difference in the Surah of the Cow. In the Hafs version it says, "They deceive Allah and those who believe, while they only deceive themselves and perceive it not." However, in the Warraq version, rather than saying they deceive, it says they are deceiving, making the verb continuous. This is a fairly minor difference. I don't think many people would be particularly fussed by it. There is a little change in actual meaning, but it does point to not all Qur'ans being the same, as many Muslims believe. There are definitely cosmetic differences. Now let's go and look at a bigger difference, again from the Surah of the Cow. In the Hafs version it says, "In their hearts is a disease, and Allah has increased their disease. A painful torment is theirs, because they used to tell lies." In the Warraq version, it ends by saying, "because they were lied to." This is a big change in meaning. One version saying that these people were punished because they told lies, and the other is saying that they're being punished because of other people telling lies to them. These two versions are in fact in contradiction. They cannot both be what Muhammad intended. The meanings are fundamentally different. In the 183rd ayah of the Surah of the Cow, the rules for Ramadan are given. The Hafs version reads, "And as for those who fast with difficulty, they have a choice either to fast or to feed a poor person." However, in the Warraq version, it says you have to feed poor men. So in one you have to feed just one person, and in the other multiple. Once again, this is a difference in meaning. Now, in the Surah of the family of Imran, in ayah 146, in the Hafs version it says, "And many a prophet fought, and along with him large bands of religious learned men, but they never lost heart for that which did before them in Allah's way, nor did they weaken nor degrade themselves. And Allah loves the patient one." Whilst in the Warraq version it says, "Many a prophet was killed, and along with him large bands of religiously learned men, but they never lost heart for that which did before them in Allah's way, nor did they weaken nor degrade themselves." In the Hafs version the prophets are fighting, teaching that religious people should fight, but in the Warraq they are being killed, implying that the believers should be willing to die. This is a profound change in meaning. If one believes that the Qur'an says religious people should fight, this will make you more violent. But if you think that the Qur'an says you should be willing to accept and endure death, this will make you less violent. In the Surah of Al-Qasas, the Surah of the Story in English, in the Hafs version, ayah 48 says, "But when the truth has come to them from us, they say, why is he not given the like of what was given to Moses? Did they not disbelieve in that which was given to Moses of old? They say, two kinds of magic, each helping each other. And they say, verily, in both we are disbelievers." In the Hafs we have the idea of two works of magic, whilst in the Warraq version it says two magicians. The two works of magic are normally taken to refer to the Torah and the Qur'an, whilst the two magicians would presumably refer to Muhammad and Moses. Once again, not the same meaning at all. It is very difficult to see how both of these versions could be accurate. These differences between Ahruf are strong evidence that the Qur'an has not been perfectly preserved. We can see that over time different versions of the Qur'an have emerged in different places. The Hafs and the Warraq are not just two different readings of the Qur'an, differing only in pronunciation and aesthetics, as Muslims claim, but in fact are different versions of the Qur'an, where the meaning of multiple ayahs have changed. I will give links to websites where you can read more about these differences in the description below. Over all these videos on the literary problems in the Qur'an, we have seen many things. In the first, we saw that there are multiple strong hadith that relate how parts of the Qur'an have been lost. We also saw that there was significant discussion about which version of the Qur'an was correct, and that the companions did not agree among themselves. We saw how Othman destroyed the majority of early Qurans to avoid Muslims being able to see how they differed from each other. In the second video, we looked at the Sana manuscript, an example of pre-Uthmanic text that survived the purge and saw that it disagreed with the Uthmanic Quran. And in this video we have seen that the Ahruf are not just different ways of saying the same thing, but they are profound differences in meaning. All of this proves to me that the Quran is not a reliable witness. We can't be confident in what it says. Since the Quran itself claims to be perfectly preserved, we see that it cannot be from God.